What's up, everybody? My name is Jordan.
And I'm Charlie.
And this would be Anime Talk. Basically what this show is, it's a show about two dudes sitting on a couch talking about anime. We're those dudes, this would be that couch, and the topic is why you guys are here.
Today's discussion is actually going to be on Tokyo Ghoul.
Which is set in Tokyo.
Absolutely.
And it's about the dichotomy between human beings and ghouls, which they live together, but ghouls eat humans, and clearly the humans don't like that. So then they decide to try and kill off these ghouls, and that's pretty much the show.
That's just how it works.
So, I mean, I guess, like, first impressions of the show?
Amazing show. Like, phenomenal friggin' from first season to second season.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, and one thing that I said is it's a very tasteful show, because it does, like, it has this very, like, fun, tasty. But yeah, because it has this, it has this whole, like, you know, it's talking about these ghouls eating humans, which, you know, it's like, yeah, it's not the greatest concept, you know, to watch.
You know what? No, but it does, as you said, in tasteful, it lets you get a hold of, like, how the world is set up.
Right.
And the fact that ghouls have to eat humans to survive, and humans eat animals to survive.
Yeah,
so it's just
it kind of, like, brings things into perspective, and you're just kind of like, okay, that's what it is.
I'm accepted it.
Yeah, and they don't just, like, hit you in the face with it. They're just like, this is what happens. And then they kind of make it into tasteful. Like at one point in season 1, our main character, he ends up going into, like, a room, and someone is actually eating, you know, human flesh, and it's actually, like, it's, like, kind of like taboo to, like, walk in on them, which I think is, like, it's kind of nice that they, like, tone it down.
They have their own they have their own little sets of taboos and things like that. Yeah.
All right. So it's a great show. It's a very dark anime. Recommend not to watch it, you know, too long in one sitting.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Just
don't do that.
Get something colorful in your life.
Get some brain bleach, like some type of show.
Some candy.
Yeah, some brain candy
unicorns, My Little Pony.
Break up that monotony. You will find yourself in a very dark place.
Just something real bright
and colorful.
But yeah, so in the show, I don't even know in the beginning, like, who we're following, because we have in the beginning we're following Reese and Jason. There's, like, the first two that we see, and they're, like, eating, you know, people.
Well, yeah, we walk in on Riza eating someone. They call her
she's a binge eater.
She's a binge eater.
Which that means that she does it because it's, like, more for pleasure than it is for, like,
for her to actually eat it for sustenance.
Right. So she just likes to.
She just enjoys to eat people.
Right. And then there's other people who are, like, gourmets who are, like, are kind of the same way, but they like.
But they like the aspect of, like, the
like
flavors.
Bougie people. Yeah. Like that's a good word for bougie people.
Yeah, that's
they're
very
bougie
true.
ghouls.
Yep.
But yeah, so the show is it has, like, a really, like, it has a conflict that's, like, very slow rising. Like, every time, like, at first we have inner character conflict in the beginning, which, like, I think our first
with Ken.
Well, so we didn't even. Our main character is Ken.
Yes.
And the way that he becomes a ghoul.
Is that we have Riza. Yeah. So he sees Riza in a cafe that he frequents.
Yeah, please do. I just butchered that.
No, so we see Riza. He sees Riza in a cafe that he frequents with his friend Hide. He has an interest in her. He then asks her. They share the same book, and he then goes and asks her about the whole situation and everything like that. You good, Jordan?
No, keep going. All right, please.
Cool. So yeah, they see that. Then they kind of meet up, and he gets the little bravado to ask her out. Riza accepts. She says that she's been looking at him the whole time. He is such a, like, kind of like a lonely man.
Yeah, let's go out on a date.
Let's go out on a date. They go out on a full date, actually.
And then she eats him.
And then she tries to eat him.
She tries to eat him.
Maneater.
She's a ghoul. And he just...
like, cue that song, because that's great.
I'll put it in.
She's a man-eater, make your back claws, make your cuts and claws, make your fall. That's license problems, Jordan.
Oh, true.
No. So yeah, all that happens. In the struggle of, like, with the shock of Riza trying to eat them. Yeah,
and then they get into, like, a fight. And she's kind of like, oh, I like the struggle, and then she ends up, like, they're fighting, and then through that she ends up dying. And I would say construction beams,
right? Like iron beams that fall on them.
But that being said,
that injures both Riza and Ken.
To the point where it kills Riza, but then Doctor, who
the sketchy doctor.
He's brought up a lot of times in the show, and I know he's going to be brought up later. I can't remember his name, but it's a doctor. He starts with the letter K, but he decides to put Reese's organs, which are ghoul organs, into a human body.
And he knew perfectly well that they were.
He's like, this has never been done before.
He knows, so obviously he's privy to the world of ghouls. Want to jump on? So you're saying it's character driven.
Oh yeah, I was saying it's a very character driven show. But I also wanted to say about the beams falling.
Yeah.
If you go back to it and you watch it, she doesn't actually trigger those beams falling.
Yes.
And it kind of actually looks like
it looked like it was
looks
staged.
like it's set up.
Yeah, it looks like
and
it's
it
staged.
kind of makes you think like, is Ken becoming a ghoul? Is all of this happening like all part of like a bigger plan? And anime definitely will be.
Of course it is.
It definitely will be.
The whole series actually has like this bubbling undertone.
Yeah, very nice undertone.
Yeah. But in that turn, it does set a dark tone.
Very, very dark tone. So it's a very character-driven show, and
we're introduced to a lot of characters.
A lot of different characters, and the ones that we basically follow is this group called Ontaku.
Yep.
And
they run a coffee shop.
Yeah, but they're basically pacifists.
Yeah.
Like they're ghouls that like do what they have to do because they have to do it. And there's other ghouls like they're in the 20th ward, and they're the ones that are like civil.
Yeah.
And then that's not all the ones in the 20th ward, but there's like a group of them in the 20th ward. And then there's other ones that are just like ghouls just being ghouls.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
And we do meet a lot of characters.
A lot of characters.
Ontaku is actually led by
this guy named Yashimura.
Yashimura, old dude with a gray hair. Then we also meet Toka, who is does she go to the same school as Kaneki?
No. Later on she does. Later on she does. She's actually younger than Kaneki in that regard.
But she's super cool character.
Super cool, and when we first get her, she's super strong and like very like powerful, like that. And I love a powerful girl in an anime, like the ones that
which is very hard to get in a good anime.
Exactly, which sucks because later on her character later on in the show, it just falls apart and they make her look weak, and it's very sad.
Yep.
We also have we have a bunch of other characters, but one of which is our first like main like antagonist. Is this guy named Tsukiyama,
dude with the purple hair and the white suit. He's out here.
And he's weird, and he's a gourmet.
Yeah.
And he finds an interest in Ken once, Ken is like, he's a half ghoul, which also, in the beginning, right before all of the stuff with Tsukiyama, it's like, a couple of the episodes are basically the inner struggle with Ken, trying to like basically figure out like, he doesn't want to eat people because he's a human.
Yeah, he's a human. But he still sees it as he is a human who's eating other humans, rather than he is now a ghoul and he has to accept that he's a ghoul and do what he needs to do to survive. We kind of, that's like an overtone over the entire series of his inner conflict.
But like the first couple episodes,
humanizing his human side versus his
we get
side.
like Hide, like his best friend, bringing him his favorite food, and he can't even eat his favorite food. It's so disgusting to him.
And then Toka actually does it. But they find it disgusting. But her friend made her food, and she ate it in front of her. But she threw it up later. It actually makes them sick.
Yeah,
I forgot that. I forgot that fact.
But yeah, so but at the point that we're at, our first the first really main conflict that we have is with Tsukiyama, and
it's a whole guild of gourmets.
Yeah, it's a whole guild of gourmets, and it's just
it's a weird. No, it's a weird series. It's like a weird little point.
And then he ends up taking. I can't remember what happened with the whole gourmet thing, but it was weird. It was like a weird setting with him and Ken in that gourmet setting, and then Ken left. And then later on, Tsukiyama went and the guy with the orange hair, who became part of Ontaku later.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
His girlfriend was taken by Tsukiyama, and then that was the first time that Toka beat the crap out of Tsukiyama.
Once again, Toka being the dopest freaking character in the beginning. Like, one of the strongest characters.
So cool.
And I still hate the fact that she fell off.
But Tsukiyama is just like a weirdo. And but that's what I'm saying. The conflict is rising slowly, and we have all this character-driven stuff until we get to
we meet Doves. We meet the Doves.
Yeah,
we meet the Doves.
We start to see
which are the opposite side of the ghouls. They're kind of like the police force.
Right.
They're the people policing the ghouls.
Right. And now we're getting more of the backstory on you know, the good guy's side,
Yeah.
and then
Good
you know
guy's
it's
side.
good guy's side. So it
Yeah.
kind of reminds me of Death Note in the sense that like we're following the
Okay.
good guys and the bad guys, and
Yeah.
you know, we're having the inner struggle as like the audience, like to being like,
Which is
what
a
side
very
do
good
we?
source of writing, man.
Yeah,
That's so good.
what side do we like? And you know, it's always nice
And then
to
you realize
have
in
that inner
that-
conflict within yourself.
And in this anime, you actually can't pick a side.
No.
Because there are necessities of both people. People, like, we as humans, we want to survive and we
Right.
strive to survive and we'll find a way to do so. But then we also are food to
Right.
another species.
And then
that's
we have when we meet the doves. The first doves that we meet are Mato and Amon. And Amato
Yes.
is more of like a headstrong, like he's been doing this for a very long time.
he's also kind of like he's
kind of crazy, not
kinda
crazy, but like, you know, aggressive, I would say. But in this, Mato he's teaching Amon how to, like, you know, fight the ghouls and how to like live a life with that. And Amon meets Ken in a conflict between Mato, Toka, and Hinami. Hinami is this little girl that's also an Ontaku.
Yeah.
And her mom, her family has just been like killed off by Mato.
Jason.
No, by Mato. Who?
Oh,
Mato
no, Jason killed her. Jason killed their dad.
No, Mato killed her dad.
you're right.
Jason was working with her
Yeah,
dad.
you're
who her dad
right.
was, I think he made the pliers.
Yeah, he makes
he
the
made
pliers
he made the
for-
pliers
yep.
for Jason, and then he didn't kill Jason.
Yep.
And then, but while he was leaving, and Jason got in the
Yeah,
conflict
you're right.
between Mato
Yeah.
and
That was something
Amon.
yeah.
But then, so we have the conflict between Amon, and we have a conflict between Ken, and it's, you know, good versus evil. And after the end of that fight, Mato actually dies.
Which is
To Toka. Toka kills Mato. And then
I thought the little girl killed Mato.
no, he
They were fighting for a while.
right.
They
And
were
then
fighting for a
Toka
while.
and then Toka
Yep.
ended up killing it.
Yep.
So then after that we have Amon finally being like, I hate ghouls, I hate
Yeah.
them, but at the same time he still
remembers when he met Ken and saw that Ken was different.
and he didn't want to fight.
Yeah, he didn't want to fight, and then he didn't want to eat, and he was still he realized like maybe ghouls do have like a humanizing side to them.
Yes.
And a conscious
Yes.
is more important. What I think Amon realized that
Right.
what's going on in this world, rather than them just being like these one single-minded type of creatures.
Yes. But then there are some ghouls out there that are just like really fucked up.
Just like there are people like that.
Which is like we have in, I think it was episode 8 and 9, we have Banjo and a couple of these other like ghouls under Aogiri tree who are just kind of like no names.
Yeah.
They come to look for Reese because there's a thing going on with Reese. No one really addresses what's going on with Reese, but like people are looking for her. And Jason also comes to look for Reese. They come from the 11th ward over to the 20th ward. And then so Jason walks in and he smells Reese's scent.
I think he smells the Kakuga, the
Kagane.
Kagane,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, whatever it is, but they have a
Yeah.
nice, they have a very good,
Excellent
very
sense of
nice
smell.
sense of smell.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice sense of smell.
But you
Very
can
cool.
smell Reese on Ken
Yes.
and just beats the crap
Yeah.
out of Ken, like literally, and is one of the hardest scenes to watch
It-
in like any anime that I've ever. Just literally, you just see the blood and
Yeah.
him smashing him
yeah.
on tables.
It
and
was
just-
very this is a very visceral type of show.
and it made me like
It makes you like,
and
it
then
makes you
continuing
hurt and
on with
cringe
that.
and you're just like, this is a show that's like ready to work
Yeah.
my emotions.
And then right after that we have Ontaku going after Ken,
Yep.
and then we also have the CCG that's going after Aogiri at the same time.
Yeah.
And so Ontaku uses that as a cover to pick
to
up
attack,
Ken.
yeah.
But Ken is with Yamori or Jason, and
Jason has been torturing this poor kid the whole time.
it is, because he can regenerate, so he's just pulling off of his
Yeah.
toes and his fingers, and
this is a hard scene.
and to keep him sane, he told him to count back from 1,000. So he's like, "What's
By
1,000
7.
minus
Yeah,
7?"
by
Which is
7.
the same torture. Jason puts Kenki through the same torture that he
a
was put
dove
through
put
by
through him
a dove.
yeah.
And that continues for some time while
It's got like a good two episodes.
2 episodes of.
It just hurts.
But we're watching Ontaku and the CCG fighting together,
and then you kind of no. I actually got a little bit desperate in that situation where I was like, please find him.
Yeah.
Like, please rescue Kenichi. Please.
Right.
And at the end of it, he had to rescue himself.
Right, he ended up
Yeah.
succumbing to the ghoul that's inside of him,
Yep.
and then being like, okay, I don't even care anymore. He gave into Reese, and then he lost, and then his hair turned white, and then he went.
I thought it turned white from fear, maybe.
I don't. It was a different. It was a different personality.
Yeah, it's a different personality. But that whole section was just so well put together.
So well put together. And to the end with that fight, it was just like beautiful. And the score that they had, and they brought the theme song back at the end of the season 1. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Really.
But then Ken eats Jason.
And then Ken eats Jason, and which brings us to season 2. But also, I think the only one thing that I wanted to say, well, that was season 1, which is absolutely amazing, and I really loved it. But we didn't get to talk about one character in it that I really like. Who's that? Juzo.
Oh, Juzo's dope.
Which I like.
Juzo's the dopest kid.
Because in that fight with Antaku and Aogiri, one of the first times we ever seen Juzo fight, takes a motorcycle, flings it into a building, jumps into a building, takes out 20 ghouls, and then you're just you have a second, a pause, and then you just have Juzo just waving out of the window, it was just so funny, and the moments of comic relief that you get out of the show, you really appreciate.
And you don't expect it.
And you don't expect it.
Yeah, you don't expect
Especially in the middle of a fight, then you have someone just waving, and you have a chuckle out of yourself when when Ken is being ripped, his fingers and toes are being ripped off.
Oh my God.
If you can make me laugh and cringe, I'm cool with that. Very cool with that.
Now you got this application for Jordan's girlfriend.
Application for my next girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go, guys.
All right. We want to jump into season 2.
Moving into season 2, we continue on.